All right, friends, so we're meeting in a child's pose today. To start out, go ahead and sit on your feet. You can have your big toes touching. And then walk your hands out away from your feet. And you eventually want to think of your forehead coming down to the ground, but it's okay if it doesn't come all the way down. You can rest it on your forearms maybe for a little while and give your hips a little rocking back and forth. So we'll take some time just to come down and transition. Start to deepen your breath. Find big inhales, big exhales. Filling all the available space in your rib cage and your belly with that breath. And then compressing all the breath out that you can. Think of cleaning out your lungs. New fresh air comes in. Old stale air goes out. All right, keep your big breath. Keep deepening it. Continue to allow your body to soften here. So hopefully you're feeling some release happening in your low back. Okay, you're feeling, hopefully your hips are relaxing a little bit more in the hip creases. The legs are getting compressed and massaged here. And you also have a nice neutralizing action happening in the back of your neck here. So a lot going on. So many places that you could feel release and relaxation. Continue to notice how you're feeling and how you're breathing. And we'll bring in a little more action. So reach your arms out, hands kind of walking away from your hips. And then make little tents, little spiders out of each hand. So your fingertips press down and your palms lift up. And we'll start looking under one armpit at a time. So twisting your neck to look under one armpit and then the other. So getting some nice rotation in your upper spine. Gentle rotation as you turn that neck. Then bring yourself back to center here. Go ahead and bring your palms to the floor and pull yourself all the way up to hands and knees. Okay, and I'll meet you here. Let's just do some cat-cows. So grip the mat, strong hands, pull your elbows inward, and think of moving your heart forward as you inhale. You want to pull back on your hands, move your heart forward as if between your arms. And with your exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, maybe shake your head. Let's do a few more like that. Inhale, strong back, pulling that heart forward. Exhale, strong belly, pushing the floor away. So you want to feel a lot of space opening up behind your ribs here, that upper back getting a great stretch. And also that chest in the front getting a great stretch too. Then bring it back to a flat back here. And we'll start to play around a little bit with core strength and back strength. So let's get the right leg out behind. Okay, send it out. And then put an internal rotation in that right hip. So almost like you're trying to get your right knee and your right toes to point down. So you'll feel that internal rotation, okay? Keep the belly strong up and into your spine and spread out those right fingers. Maybe you can reach forward with your left hand. So bird dog position here. If you ever need less work, you can just put the left hand down and just do the right leg, no problem. But we're gonna move and play a little bit. So take a big breath in, stretch your arm and leg out that are lifted, get them really long and strong. With your exhale, pull that right knee in, pull the left elbow in. See if you could get them close together, maybe touch them, and even get your nose in the mix too. Come out on your inhale, and then pull it back in on your exhale. Okay, nice and simple. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, pull it in and strengthen. So you want to think about back strength as you lift that heavy arm and leg, and core strength as you pull it all in. Let's do it 3 more times. Two more. Okay, last time, reach out and hold right here and breathe. So I'm going to challenge you to keep the belly button strong into your spine, but this time I want you to externally rotate that right leg, okay, at the hip, and bend the right knee. Point the right knee out to the right. Okay, do the same with your left elbow. Bend the left elbow and point it out to the left. Hold and breathe. A little challenge for your back body here, pushing down on the floor. Lifting that heavy arm and leg. So you can drop them and take a break if you want, but if you want a little extra spice, extend the arm and leg. We'll take one more big breath here. Whew, and then let it go. Drop the left hand, drop that right knee, tuck your toes and lift your knees up and back. We're gonna walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Take a little time just to hang. Shake your head out. Shift your weight side to side as you swing and let your upper body kind of dangle from your hips. This is a good time to flip your palms over and kind of stretch them out after that. A lot of weight for a long time on your right wrist. Okay, and then find equal weight in your feet, and we're gonna roll it up. So big breath in, pushing down into your heels. Roll yourself all the way up. Lift that heart, reach your hands up, maybe a teeny tiny back bend. And then we'll take a side bend here, exhaling out to one side. Press your hips away from the side you're reaching to. Inhale back up to center. Keep that strong belly moving in. And other side. Exhale, push the hips away. And then bring it back up to center. Big breath in, lifted heart. Exhale here, hinge it and fold yourself all the way down. Okay, once your hands or at least your fingertips are on the floor, go ahead and walk your hands out away from your feet. And then you're back on hands and knees where we started. Okay, so now we're gonna do all that on the other side. Let's get the left leg out. Okay, internally rotate that left hip. You wanna shine the left toes and the left knee straight down. And then spread out your left fingertips nicely so you can maybe get some extra weight into that hand. And we'll reach forward with the right. So long and strong, please. Take a moment just feeling how the back body is lifting this lifted arm and leg. And we'll start to move here. So inhaling long and reaching. Exhaling, pull it in strong. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Keep it going. So find a nice rhythm. You can have a different rhythm from mine. But you're still using your back strength, using your core strength. Okay, couple more. Feeling some warmth building in those joints. Next time you reach out, through the arm and leg. Hold it there. We're going to play around a little bit. So bend that left knee, externally rotate the left hip, point the left knee to the left, right elbow bends and points to the right. Hold and breathe. Funky airplane, y'all. Breathe. Push that floor down. Use your back strength here. Strong belly. Now you can take a hand down and take it more easy. You can make it spicier by extending your arm and leg. Nice work. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, let it go. Tuck your toes again, lift your knees again, and again, walk your hands back to your feet. Let your head hang. You might grab your elbows and just shift the weight side to side, but also shift the weight forward and back on your feet. Forward into the toes, back into the heels. All right, from here, we're gonna roll it up again. So release your elbows, inhale, and press down into your feet. Lift up nice and high. Big heart goes up. And then a big side stretch here. Exhale to one side, press your hips away. Inhale, bring it back up. Other side, exhale. And inhale to bring it up. Exhale here, hinge it all the way down. Okay, palms are down. Inhale and walk it forward to hands and knees again. Okay, from here, get that right knee up. We're gonna bend the knee and circle the hip out. Okay, just waking that hip up. Do your best to keep your hips level at first. Okay, the right hip might try to lift up, but keep it nice and level with your left. Let's rewind it. Okay, as you're ready, swing that right knee forward and really open up the right hip. You're gonna stack it on top of the left. Get those knee circles as big as you can make them. Okay, notice that the left hip is involved now. And rewind your big, huge circles. Okay. Next time you bring that right knee forward, pause and step the right foot outside your left hand, or outside your right hand. You can come up on your fingertips here. And if you're feeling okay about having your hips kind of low to the ground, you can move the left knee back. But if that's too much, I'd say move it forward. So you can kind of play around with how you want that to feel. Okay, and then let's just rock the hips forward and back a few times here. So beginning to get into your right hamstring and the left hip flexor, as well as your low back. Okay, here we go. So settle into that right foot, okay? And then you know that we're lunging, so that means that we need to activate the legs a little bit, pushing down into the floor slightly, pulling the knees in toward center slightly. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of strength to be very effective. So this might be where you would like to stay, and that is perfectly wonderful. You can move a little deeper if you like by dropping to first your palms, and then maybe you're bending your elbows. Maybe your elbows come to the floor. Maybe you hang your head. Wherever you are, it still feels good, and you can still breathe. So you're always double checking. Let your head really hang. You can keep the neck nice and long, however. Always moving your shoulders away from your ears. And make sure that you have that gentle press against the floor. Take a few more breaths here, okay? See if you can notice a difference over time. And how low maybe your hips want to drop. Notice how the back of the right leg and the front of the left feel. Okay. Take your time coming back up out of this. There's no rush. Come on up. Okay, I just want to build in a little twist here. So in this lunge, you can keep that left hand underneath your left shoulder. Just reach the right arm up. Okay, big twist here, looking up at the ceiling. And pause and breathe. So make sure shoulders are active. Keep both shoulders active, please. Okay, imagining you're plugging the arms into their sockets. And you can keep more gentle if you like by 2 hands down. Okay, or you can make it more spicy by tucking the back toes and hovering the back knee. That's the left knee. So then you'll imagine you want to lift your left knee while you're dropping your right hip. Big breath here. Think of spreading open your chest and looking up and wringing out your whole spine. Okay, one more big breath here in your twist, yogis. And come out the way you came in. Back knee comes down if it was up. Top hand comes down. Bring it back to hands and knees. Take your time. And then tuck your toes, hover your knees, and walk your hands back to your feet. Take a moment. Again, hang, shake it out. Okay, from here, inhaling, roll yourself up. Same as we did before. Lift your heart. Exhale out to one side. Side bend. Inhale back up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale and bring it up. And exhale, hinge it all the way down. Palms are down. Inhaling here, walk it forward to hands and knees again. So this time, left knee up. We'll circle out the left hip without lifting it. So keep it nice and level with the right. Notice the left glute working. Okay, keep the belly button lifting in towards your spine so your low back doesn't just absorb all this. Low back tends to want to overachieve and just do everything. Rewind your circles. Okay, now really open up that left hip. Pick it up, stack it on top of the right. Make really big circles here. And rewind. Okay, next time you swing that left knee forward, plant it outside your left hand. And you could come up on your fingertips just to give yourself extra space. Okay, remember to bring the right knee closer forward to get your hips up away from the floor. If you need a little more space for your hips to move. Okay, if you have some extra space in your hips, you can move the right knee back and let the hips sink. So you decide, and then start moving your hips forward and back. Okay, noticing how that right hip flexor feels. How does that left hamstring feel? Okay, bring the hips forward and then just pause in your lunge and we'll sink into your lunge here. So we want to get the palms down. Okay, if you can get those palms down, go ahead and get them. We want to be pretty grounded and start to push against the floor. So resist the floor just enough with your legs. Pull the knees in toward each other, just enough. Okay, and then start to sink down to your elbows, maybe. Maybe no elbows today, or maybe just one elbow today. You can play around. Okay, think of that left knee trying to move inward towards your left shoulder, like you wanted to glue it to your shoulder. Do your best to keep your neck long here. You can hang your head. Just keep the shoulders away from your ears. Take a few more breaths here. Okay, hopefully noticing any sinking down in your hips, any release in your low back. From here, come back up on your hands if you were down on your elbows and ground into that right hand, ready for a twist. Go ahead and reach up with your left hand. So big left arm reaching up. Both shoulders are strong and active. Okay, hold right here, breathing. I'll spin around to face you, okay? So you can make this more gentle, left hand down. You can make it more spicy, right knee up. You think of lifting the right knee and dropping the left hip. So you kind of play around with where you want that to be. But no matter where you are, twist to look up. Get that benefit of the twist all the way up to the base of your skull. Then breathe. Right, letting this twist kind of ring out your spine. Maybe one more really big breath here, yogis. And then we'll bring it down. Back knee comes down if it was up. Left hand down in front. Back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Again, hands walk all the way back to your feet. And take a little time just to swing and hang. Okay, as you're ready, we're gonna roll it up. Here goes, just like before. Inhale, roll yourself up. Lift your heart. And then a side bend. Exhale to one side. Inhale back up to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up to center. And exhale, fold it all the way down. Palms on the ground. Walk your hands forward to a plank and hold it right here. Okay, so I want to open up your shoulders. But first, I want to get your shoulders warm. So that means in your plank, as you hold, you can drop one knee or two knees at any time to make it less challenging. But if you don't mind the challenge, stick with it, okay? We're going to play a little bit. So see if you could come down and just put a little bit of a bend in your elbows. Point your elbows back. Come down about half of the way that you can go and hold right there. And breathe. Push the floor down, pull your elbows inward, pull your knees inward and breathe. One more big breath in. And then press it back up to plank. Okay, don't lose your planklet. We're not done. So this time, go just about maybe 1/3 of the way as far down as you can go and hold it right there. Hold and breathe. Pull the elbows in with the elbows. Pull the knees inward, hold and breathe. One more breath, a third of the way down that you can go. And then back up to plank. Okay, so this next one is going to be a quarter, and that's going to be the last one, okay? You can do it. Drop your knees if you need to. It's still a plank, but either way, your belly button is strong into your spine. Your heart is lifting up between your hands. So here we go. Just bend your elbows a quarter of what you can bend them. Hold and breathe. Point the elbows back. Strong legs. Push that floor down. Nice. 3, 2, and 1. Now lower yourself all the way down. Oh. That was a great challenge. Okay, take your arms out into a cactus shape here. So you're bent at the elbows and your palms are on the floor. And go ahead and look at your left hand. Put your left fingertips close to your face. And keeping your right elbow bent on the floor, just where you put it, roll onto your right side and hold it right here. We'll just take a little moment. So this is the point where you can adjust the bend in your right arm, okay? I'm gonna lift up my head to show you here that you can move that right elbow down towards your ribs, or you can move it away even past your shoulder. So please find out where you want that right elbow, okay? Hold it right there. And then when you're ready to commit, you're gonna bend your right knee and tuck it up and in by your hip. And we're just gonna spend some time here getting deep into your right shoulder, okay? So close your eyes, breathe. Make sure that right shoulder feels just right, and you can always adjust. But once you're feeling pretty settled in, your head is resting on the floor, your left leg is resting on the floor, you're not doing any extraneous work. Then I just want you to start to activate just enough. And here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna start to press your right hand into the ground as if you intended to push the ground down with your right hand. Now hold and breathe right here. Just pushing the floor just enough to feel that right shoulder opening up. So keep the gentle resistance, please. That's how we're gonna get the most effective shoulder opening here. You can add some weight and some twist to the situation if you like, and go deeper by reaching up with that left hand. Continue to push the floor with your right hand. And you can also drop that left arm across your back and try to tuck the left fingers under your right side. Breathe. All right, continue to breathe here. This is one of those postures where we activate just enough and we let gravity do the rest of the work. Time. Notice all the tissues of that right side of your chest, your shoulder, your armpit peeling open. One more big breath in here. All right, take your time unrolling yourself. So extend the right leg again. Roll back onto your belly again. Now take a moment just to let that right shoulder return to normal. Notice how it feels. And then we'll get into the left. So bring your left arm back to that same right angle cactus shape. Look to the right and use your right hand to roll onto your left side. So pause here And decide where you want your left elbow. You can move it up, you can move it down. It's going to feel different. So you decide where exactly do you want it. And then when you're ready to commit, you bend that left knee and tuck the left knee up and in, okay? And I'll spin around to face you here. So we'll be here for a while. So just close your eyes, let your head fall, and let that right foot rest on the floor. Let there be maximum ease here. Okay, once you have settled in and your body is kind of beginning to understand what you're doing here, you'll start to activate the left hand, pressing it gently down into the floor. So gently pushing down on the floor. And breathe. Notice sensations in your left shoulder and armpit. You can deepen this, okay, by reaching that right hand up. Think of broadening your chest away from the floor. And you can also drop the right arm across your back and tuck it underneath your left side. Tuck the hands or the fingers under your left side. Big breath. Keep resisting the floor. Taking your last big breath here. Any extra tension melting out of your left shoulder and chest. And then bring it back around. Okay, take your time. Extending that left leg. Roll back onto your belly. Okay, take a moment just resting at center. Notice how it feels now. Both shoulders hopefully more open. From here, hands back up underneath your shoulders. Press it up through hands and knees. And then we'll sit the hips off to one side and swing the legs around front. Get the legs around front. Okay, shake them out. From here, bring your feet together. So you'll just bend your knees and pull them up and in next to you. And put the feet far enough away from you that when you look down at the shape that your legs make, it's not a compressed diamond, but it's like a square diamond, okay? It's the equal angles on all sides make it look like a square. Okay, and from there, just sit up nice and tall. You can have your fingers down beside you. Go ahead and close your eyes down. And just notice the length in your spine. So we're going to use this Baddha Konasana to get some hip opening, a big low back release, and a lovely stretch across the whole back of your body, especially your upper back and neck. Okay, so we'll be using this for multiple functions. So with your longest spine, just start to walk your fingers out in the direction of your toes. Okay, and you can pause where you feel your spine is really rounding, okay? So if you notice your shoulders are kind of mooshed up by your ears and you're looking at your belly button, that's a rounding spine. We want to back it up a little bit, move that heart out front and get the shoulders back out of the way. So take your time, just breathe. The idea is you want a long spine with each inhale. And with each exhale, use your legs to gently press the floor away from you. And that's where you're going to get a lot of the freedom in this posture. Maybe walk your elbows out front if that makes sense today. Long spine inhale. And drop your head as you exhale. Send that heart forward and drop the knees and the legs into the earth. Let's take a few more breaths here. Okay, keeping that gentle resistance against the ground. Okay, your head might even fall into your feet at some point, but it's okay if it doesn't. There's no prize for getting your head to your feet. We'll start to walk back up out of this. So start to walk yourself all the way up, okay? And then just take your feet into a nice little cross-leg position, nice little seated cross-leg position. You can cross your shins, maybe bring your feet close to your knees, or any other cross-leg position that suits you well. Okay, from here, just a little gentle twist to recalibrate your spine. So look over that left shoulder here. Take your left fingers behind you and your right hand to your left knee. And we'll take a few breaths. Okay, long spine inhale. Big twist on your exhale. The more you look over that shoulder and exhale deeply, the more deeply you can get into the twist. All right, as you're ready, come through center and then over to the other side. So looking over your right shoulder now, right fingers behind you, left hand to that right knee, and gently twist as you breathe deeply. Okay, bring yourself back around front now. As you're ready, let that twist go. And maybe switch the crossing of your legs, okay? If you had them crossed one way, cross them the other way. Close your eyes down here and just sit up nice and tall. You can let your hands rest on your knees. Let your tailbone be heavy into the earth. And just take a moment to tune into how you feel. Notice your breath. And let go of any effort. No more controlling your breath or no more extra effort in your body. Just as much ease as you can cultivate here. So please take as much time as you can just to rest right here and let your practice soak in. But this is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining me.